Pence, by the way, has flipped on his boy.
Yeah.
Snake.
He came out. I know. He's out here just showing his ass, dude. It's really fucked up. It's really messed up, man.
He dropped this tweet that was
It's really messed up. I don't even want to see it. I can't even look at it.
Check this out. I'm going to read it. When he got served, Mike Pence said this: today's indictment serves an important reminder. Anyone who puts himself over the Constitution should never be president of the United States. Bitch, where were you?
He was there wearing a wire.
Yeah, it's so fucked up, dude. Dude, this is we're living in a post-Gunna world, okay? It's just dogs snitching on dogs, turning into rats. You know what I'm saying? It's a fucking dog-eat-dog world out there. That's your boy.
To be fair, Trump did want him hanged by the gallows.
Yeah, it turns out he was right. It turns out he was like, he was not wrong for that that feeling of anger. It's like
Trump, I'm surprised Trump doesn't tweet out this picture when he put out that statement. We're coming for you, Mikey boy.
Yeah,
Mikey.
It's so funny because, like, you know, Mike Pence is saying all this stuff, and his poll numbers are so disastrous.
Yeah, he sucks.
Which to me implies that there is no interest within the Republican base for anyone to say truthful things about Donald Trump's misconduct, criminal misconduct.
But Mike is also like the most uncharismatic, pasty weirdo too.
Fair. And
also, the dude literally, he announced his president's candidacy. He raised $1.2 million. Twitch streamers get more donations than him.
Yeah. I've raised more money for Syria and Turkish earthquake relief funds than Michael Pence's VP run in a matter of like a week, too.
So let's see. Pence's handwritten notes and testimony played a crucial role during the indictment. That's very interesting. These notes were taken by Pence in the days between 2020 election and the January 6th attack on the Capitol. So a prolific note taker, apparently. They describe private interaction with Trump and are believed to have been used by prosecutors in drawing up the charges against Trump. Okay, Pence. There it is. Stringer Bell would be pissed, huh?
Nigga, is you take...
I remember this scene. The Wire. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch it.
Nigga, is you taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy? What the fuck is you thinking?
That's true. That's a good point. That show's so good. But notes are useful, so we don't forget.
Do you think he was doing it knowing?
Yes.
Like, he was covering his ass big time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He knew that shit was going to go sideways sooner or later.
Their counter now, his lawyer has been making the rounds. Trump's lawyer has been making the rounds on CNN. They have a new guy. He's like more coherent than Joey Taco Penis or Matthew Calamari or all of the other wonderful characters in Trump's
food-themed lawyers that he has.
Yeah. Well, one of the guys, one of the co-conspirators named in the suit is Kenneth Cheesebro.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Where the fuck is he finding these people?
Is it Chesbro or is it? I mean, it's spelled like cheese.
It's Chesebro. It's like probably Chesebro, maybe. I don't know.
But no, I thought
Cheesebro.
I thought it was Cheese.
No, I don't think it's two
cheesy.
E's. I don't think it's straight.
No,
cheese.
it's not. I just looked it up.
It's not.
Yeah.
Shame.
Probably Chesebro. It looks like cheese, bro, though.
It does look like
Shame.
Cheesebro, which I will continue calling him that.
So what about our food-themed players?
It's just, I don't know. I don't know where Trump finds these fucking freaks, but it's like very obvious that in every single circumstance that he has been, in every indictment so far, here's how it plays out. A normal lawyer tells Donald Trump, sir, you can't do that. That is illegal. Whether it be maintaining classified documents after an investigation has launched into taking those classified documents back. Okay? Someone will say, sir, you can't do that. That's illegal. Cooperate with the authorities and give the documents back. Trump will then completely avoid that and go and find any legal counsel he can that will tell him, no, actually, sir, You're perfectly fine.
That's where he finds the freaks.
Yeah. So he went to Judicial Watch, which is Tom Fitton's operation for the classified document stuff, where Tom Fitton was like, oh, yeah, totally. Just keep the documents. Lie to them. Who gives a shit? Right?
Good advice.
And then he will, and in this situation, the exact same thing happened where they were like, sir, the election was not stolen. You know that that's not the case. Like, he has legal counsel that told him this. He had professionals within his administration that his job is solely this, to inform him on matters such as this, tell him, no, what you're saying is false. So he reasonably knew the information that he was delivering to the public with an intent to defraud the population was completely false.
The
What
amount
did he
of
do? He
peop-
found freaks.
You're right. The amount of people that told him that the election wasn't stolen, that it was fair, that he's wrong, it was like 10 to 15 credible office holders or lawyers or judges or I don't know.
His own people.
His
Bill
own
Barr.
people. And so that's one of the most damning evidences they have of intent, because they're like, there's no fucking way that this man did not know that he was lying.
Well, should we talk about the clear 5-part plan on how to steal the election, because the indictment lays it out.
Which part?
It's on the document. It's G.
G.
Yeah.
What number?
No, it's just, I'm going to read out all
here,
5.
yeah, go ahead. I found it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, 1, knowingly making false claims of election fraud to get state legislators and election officials to subvert the legitimate election results. On the pretext of baseless fraud claims, Trump pushed officials in certain states to ignore the popular vote, disenfranchise millions of voters, dismiss legitimate electors, and ultimately cause the ascertainment of voting by illegitimate electors in favor of the defendant. This is per the indictment.
I don't see anything wrong with that.
Yeah, no, it's just,
Sounds
he did everything
perfectly
right.
legal.
He did nothing wrong.
Yeah. 2, organizing a fraudulent slate of electors in 7 targeted states, which include Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, New Mexico, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin.
Yeah, I don't
Okay?
see anything wrong with that either.
Wisconsin.
Just high level.
And some of those people have been
Yes.
charged, right? Those
Yes.
electors.
Some fraud in
Yeah.
Michigan, there's a new lawsuit. Some fraudulent electors were tricked into participating based on the understanding that their votes would be used only if the defendant succeeded in outcome determinative lawsuits within their state, which the defendant never did.
Oops.
Number 3, trying to use the power of the Department of Justice to conduct sham election crime investigations, which, to be fair, number 3 has been happening under every Republican administration. George W. Bush did it. There is always a committee. Donald Trump did it in 2016. He tried to do it again after he lost. That's the only difference, is that he actually lost this time. But he has well, I guess they don't use the Department of Justice, but they usually always will create a separate team and they'll call it like the Election Integrity Office or whatever, which will go and do analyses on all of the votes and try to tabulate all the fraudulent votes or whatever, only to find the exact same conclusion every election cycle. There is not enough voter fraud happening. Yeah, it's stolen.
Sorry.
There's not enough voter fraud happening that is beyond the margins. There's not enough voter fraud happening at a systemic level that legitimately changes the outcome of an election. It's a complete erroneous claim. And then to which Trump or even George W. Bush will quietly then just shutter the Election Integrity Committee and move on and never talk about it again. But this time he utilized the DOJ. The indictment alleges that Trump and co-conspirators sent a letter to the targeted states that falsely claimed that the Justice Department had identified significant concerns that may have impacted their election outcome. Number 4.
Can you do that?
No, apparently not.
No.
Because
Not
that's
without getting
super
indicted.
shady. Trump wrote a letter to states that says the Justice Department, the official legal wing of the executive branch, they had identified significant. So they're just like, yo, this shit was stolen. Trust.
All while the irony,
But
of
isn't that
course,
Bill Barr thing? Like, why isn't he in trouble?
Oh,
he just lied. Trump
well,
Barr wasn't involved. He
Yeah.
just lied.
All
Awesome.
the while, they were launching investigations and lawsuits over and over again, and every single one of them was either being thrown out or failing. Like, it's not like there wasn't subsequent recounts that occurred multiple times in a lot of these states that where Trump alleged that there was some misconduct on voting.
Mm-hmm.
So they did actually tabulate the results, count them over and over again, hand count them. This was an incredibly costly endeavor. It cost millions, multiple tens of millions of dollars.
Did his campaign pay for the recounts?
I believe that you're supposed to. Yes, it's probably some PAC money. You know, it's not directly coming out of Trump's pocket or anything. Then the last 2 points, he tried to get former Vice President Michael Pence to fraudulently alter the election results. So what ended up happening was he basically pulled Mike Pence aside and was like, "Come on,
my boy,
come on. This like my legal counsel's telling me this is it. January 6th, don't authorize the vote results. Let's stop this. You know, let's put a pin in this whole election thing. Long after the election is over, mind you, long after Americans are completely aware that like Joe Biden is the next president of the United States. This is a lame duck period that he has where he doesn't have any like, he has power obviously and he can abuse it. But like everyone is under the assumption, the correct assumption that like Joe Biden is the next president of the United States of America. There just has to be a transfer of power at this point. So what did Trump try to do? Well, he tried to convince, when efforts to convince Pence to unilaterally reject election results before January 6 failed, Trump and co-conspirators falsely told protesters that Pence had the authority to and might alter the election results.
That's really incredible because they're like, he's basically pressuring Pence from his psycho fans.
Yeah.
That's why they took out the gala for the boy.
Yep.
Trump and co-conspirators directed them to the Capitol to obstruct the certification proceeding and exert pressure on the vice president to take the fraudulent actions he had previously refused. Mike Pence very clearly defined, and you can see it in the, he even talked about it publicly recently since this indictment came out, but he very clearly told Trump, like, I don't believe I have the power to do that, nor do I wish to do that. Like in correspondences that was documented. And last but not least, exploiting January 6 violence to get members of Congress to delay certification. As violence ensued, the defendant and co-conspirators exploited the disruption by redoubling efforts to levy false claims of election fraud and convince members of Congress to further delay the certification based on those claims. Now, Mike Pence is a key witness here for that reason. We touched on what he said. Another thing that actually I thought was interesting is one of the co-conspirators, I think said something along the lines of like, well, there will be riots if we actually stop this authorization process because everybody knows that, you know, Joe Biden is the next president. If you think you can like symbolically stop this process, like, and halt it, like people will riot. To which a co-conspirator responded, well, that's why we have the Insurrection Act. Like he wanted to use the military to
Crackdown, baby.
The understandable riots that would ensue due to the democratic process being halted on like one of the more symbolic aspects of it too.
I mean,
not
it's
even
a
like
good
a
thing.
serious thing.
It's a good thing that Pence, even though he is a pasty, ghoulish, zombie-ish freak, that he did not do this because that would have been really fucking crazy.
Yeah. He has handwritten notes and testimony that played a crucial role in the indictment against Donald Trump. These contemporaneous notes were taken by Pence in the days between the 2020 election and the January 6th attack on the Capitol. They describe private interactions with Trump and are believed to have been used by prosecutors in drawing up the charges against Trump.
Oops.
Yeah. He took notes, and you know, as we know, Trump hates notes. Trump hates people that take notes for good reason, because he's like constantly saying shit that would get him.
Once again,
Taking notes on a criminal fucking conspiracy.
that's Trump. To anyone in a room with him at any time.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. It wasn't just Pence. There's so much of the shit that they put in writing for like no reason.
Well, it's not no reason. You're the president. Every conversation that you're supposed to be having in private or in public should, at least to a certain degree, regardless of classification, be diligently safeguarded and diligently taken notes on. That's normal. The problem is he's never operated like this. He's always failed upwards in the real estate world, where he could be a criminal as much as he wants to. and run the show in the way that he wants to. But like when you're the fucking president, you can't do that. Like you just can't get away with that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. One of the conversations documented in Pence notes took place on Christmas Day 2020. Pence called Trump to deliver a holiday greeting. How sweet. But the then president quickly turned the conversation to his demand that Pence reject certain state electoral votes during the final certification. He's like, hey, Merry Christmas, Trump. Listen, save the Merry Christmas for after. Pence reportedly pushed back, telling Trump, I don't think I have the authority to change the outcome. What? The vice president can't change the outcome of an election? Another conversation took place on New Year's Day 2021. Oh, the holidays. I think that's the only time they ever talked.
I love just thinking about how Pence was probably sighing and like, okay, I gotta call Trumpy. I gotta call Donald and
they
wish him
only
happy,
talked on these holidays.
Happy New Year right now, and I know how this is gonna go.
So let's see. He calls him on New Year's Day, 5 days before the Capitol attack. Trump allegedly called Pence to berate him about opposing a lawsuit filed by Trump's allies, aiming to have a judicial opinion stating that Pence had the authority Trump was demanding of him. Okay, wait. Trump was trying to get a legal opinion that said that?
Yeah.
I don't think he got that, right?
No, I don't think so.
Well, you can get a legal opinion on whatever the fuck you want to get a legal opinion on. It's a matter of whether it's valid or not. And it's a matter of like, are we going to wait out the litigation, or are we just going to follow through on this, again, symbolic part of the electoral process, like elections process? Like, this isn't a pivotal moment. The certification of votes is not necessarily an important part of the process within the elections. They didn't cheat hard enough in the beginning, which is where Republicans do actually shine, where they engage in systemic, I would say, criminal misconduct with respect to voter suppression, because individual voter fraud does not happen in this country in a meaningful way. However, election fraud is a constant, and Republicans, in order to justify that election fraud, claim voter fraud is happening. They say voter fraud is happening, even though there's no evidence to point to it, and there's never been evidence to point to this. Okay,
I don't know if you've seen those tapes. There was a guy with a box.
Yeah, I mean, exactly.
He took it out of a truck.
Exactly, and they investigate it, and they're like, "No, you're an idiot. That's not a real thing, right?" However, they claim that it's happening regardless. They say, illegal immigrants are voting, blah blah blah, so that they can justify election fraud, so they can engineer outcomes to ensure that like certain areas don't have an easy time voting. Black and brown neighborhoods, poor neighborhoods, neighborhoods that would vote Democrat in general are often riddled with or often hit with like a bunch of different hurdles to make it as difficult as possible to vote. I mean, the very fact that elections are not conducted on a federal holiday in and of itself
you're right.
is crazy. I mean, it's deliberate. It's a deliberate attempt to make working class people not vote because they don't want you to vote.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. Here's a good moment from New Year's Day.
I have to pee while you...
After Pence told Trump once more that there was no basis for him to ever claim or wield that sort of authority, Trump complained that Pence was too honest. You're too honest.
You're too honest, kid.
You're too honest. Here's a gallows. Make you a little less honest. You understand? Let's see. Pence is on video now. Uh-oh. Yep. I mean, he is the whitest motherfucker that ever lived. Look at this dude. Yeah, look at this white motherfucker.
He's angelic. I agree. Look at him.
What's his background? Like, what's his ethnicity, I wonder? It's got to be like...
wasp as fuck. I would guess.
You know what I mean? What country's putting out people this white? England? Ireland? Ireland?
Yeah, probably.
You know what I mean? Like
Pence?
this is a special breed. When we're... His father was German. Okay, that's a good.
There you go. Good stock.
Irish
good
and German.
Stock.
There it is, man. Irish and German. Let's keep that white stock, baby. No spice in that stock. Just water. We know how to make food delicious when we white.
That's right.
Spoken and written about it extensively. I have nothing to hide.
Look at me. I'm out here with the tractors. I'm out here at TractorCon 2023. And I'll tell you what, man, I'm the whitest person you ain't ever seen. Vote for me. You ever seen me on a tractor, big old John Deere? Tell you what, brother.
Yeah.
I know how to my way around one of them.
God's grace, I believe we did our duty that day.
Look at these, just like people cruising around.
Look at that dude.
I mean, this guy is not good at walking.
He's got overalls.
He
He's got
has
the straw hat. God damn.
This is where good old
the real
Americans
America.
congregate.
That's the real America.
That's right. We don't even walk no more. We just cruise around in golf carts, boy.
The Constitution.
Look at that guy, man. That's
That guy
America.
That
Love
is
him.
America.
That's old McDonald right there, boy.
Constitution and to the American
Right, show
people.
it's on that. He's coming back.
The
now.
Constitution.
Oh yeah, Dan wants to hear this. Mike Pence is giving a speech down at the tractor yard with a good old boy in the back. Got a wheat stick in his mouth, like.
Taken to the Constitution
That corncob pipe.
and to the American people. The Constitution is quite clear about the role of the Vice President in the counting of electoral votes. It essentially says the Vice President presides over a joint session of Congress where the electoral votes that are certified by the states
Preach.
shall be open and shall be counted.
Preach.
And irrespective of the indictment, I want the American people to know that I had no right to overturn the election.
Casper the friendly ghost looking ass.
I think he looks like an angel.
No Riz.
He's
no
glowing.
Riz whatsoever, though.
He's glowing. He's so white. The sun gives him the illusion of a halo, frankly, Dan. Like an angel.
Yeah.
And then on that
beautiful.
day, President Trump asked me to put him over the Constitution, but I chose the Constitution.
That's my
And I
boy.
always will.
That's my
And
boy.
I really do believe that anyone who puts themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United
That's
States.
right.
And anyone who asks someone else to put themselves over the Constitution should never be president of the United States.
That's right.
again. I've been very forthright about this issue, and I'll continue to be.
This is too long. I mean, what the fuck? Uh-oh. Pence, I hate to say it, brother, but
You done.
your time is running low. You done crossed Trump now, boy. You best be looking out. One of them tractors there bound to go off-road. It ain't just be cutting grass this time, boy.
You're not wrong. Mitch McConnell also crossed them. Think about that.
True.
Mitch
Fell down a
McConnell
flight of
crossed Trump.
stairs.
Mitch McConnell is a rhino. He's fake. He
Yeah.
crossed Trump, and then
Now look at him.
yeah, the death tolls are coming for him.
I'm telling you, Mike Pence,
Now,
you done
with
made a
regard
deal
to
with the devil.
substance of the indictment,
It is
I've been
really
very
wild
clear.
to me
I'd
that
hoped
like
come to the-
Mike Pence
I'd
is
hoped that,
a
this issue
Republican shock jock.
and the judgment of the president's
Like he
Oh, yeah.
his starting point is actually having a radio show.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Shock jock, though.
No, yeah,
Like
like he
Christian
would just
Moran.
like he would just like say unhinged stuff though, and he had to be somewhat charismatic to be able to have a
There's
radio
no
show.
shot this man had his charisma. Can we get a clip of him on the radio?
I think we
There's no
found
way.
one once. We digged it up, and it was very just bog standard Midwest.
I
talk
woke
radio
up this
kinda
morning
shit.
and Mama called me.
frankly has said
Mama made me eggs and bacon. I said, Mama, you know I don't eat bacon.
I maintain the position that you have to be at least somewhat entertaining, over a long period of time to be able to make it,
time I heard in early December,
at least in a way that works with your audience.
I might be able to decide.
So it's actually shocking that he's
Okay.
so bad.
Wait,
Here,
I got to see this. That's him? That's
Yeah.
got to be someone
Yeah,
else.
from the
Oh,
90s.
it's him.
What? He looks so different.
This
He was
whole
old then.
business of women in the military. And by the middle of the week, though, we're talking about not only
Can you full screen
the
that?
role of the Air Force and the need for discipline, but also the whole national debate about adultery. And we had Cal Thomas's column on Wednesday in many Hoosier newspapers that reflected on this business of the normalization
He's
of
born again.
adultery. But that case, in
Boy.
fact, if you haven't heard about it
What
yet,
the
has
fuck?
been
He looks
settled.
so different.
In the case of the Air Force versus
Oh,
Kelly
really?
Flynn, First Lieutenant Kelly
This
Flynn
is almost 30 years
actually
ago.
agreed to resign yesterday
Got
with
good
a
hair. Beautiful
general
hair.
discharge
It's a shame
under
he just
honorable
buzz it down
conditions
like
rather
that.
than face
Looks like a
criminal
damn-
charges on adultery and
It's like a damn doll with
insubordination
that
and
hair,
lying
how it
and
is.
other charges. Now,
So you get the vibe, right? I mean, it's
No, I
just
want
like-
more.
You want more? Okay.
I don't know
included.
if he's charismatic.
A general
I mean,
discharge
he's just talking
is
about
just the
adultery
next
and shit.
rundown under an honorable.
This guy's better than
discharge.
Stern, man.
Honorable discharge is kind of self-evident.
Yeah,
A
I mean,
general is
definitely
given
not,
to
This
but-
probably
basically
crushes in
who
Indiana.
have a record
Turn it
of
up.
Turn
up
non-judicial
when I hear you say.
punishment, but it doesn't prevent access to veterans' benefits. You've also got below that an undesirable discharge, a bad conduct discharge, and a dishonorable discharge. So the first question I have for you at 800-603-6453 was justice served in
Is
the case
anybody
of Kelly
remembering
Flynn?
that number?
I mean, getting a discharge that
All
is
right,
just
Mike.
just a whistle.
Thanks.
You get the vibe.
Do you hear that? The bell.
Right, yeah.
The bell's coming for
Been
him.
hearing it.
Mike Pence, you done flew too close to the sun, boy. Now you hanging around like you one of us at the tractor yard, boy? Coming for Trump, that's gonna be your last mistake, brother. I tell you what, man, you ain't got no Secret Service no more.
Maybe we shouldn't joke about this because there's a non-zero chance that a Trump
Yeah.
supporter actually does try and.
Yeah,
And
you
I'll
don't
tell-
want to get like, oh,
This might age
And I'll
really
tell you
poorly.
what, you know why they called the Secret Service, boy? Because they in a secret doing service for somebody else. You understand?
the Patriots are
Do you have
rising
crow
up.
sounds? Could you have crow sounds, Zach? To play at the same time?
I can try and do that, yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry, Hassan.
No, I'm just saying Patriots are rising up. The Patriots
Right.
are in control.
Grab 'em
Michael
out.
Pence's crimes against the Trump administration at the behest of deep state pedophiles, the demon rats,
Uh-huh.
are coming for you, Michael. I mean, they're not even. I feel like they're coming for him in the way that he's getting no support and no love whatsoever.
You hear that, boy? They gonna feast on your bones, Michael. Them scarecrows ain't gonna stop them. Because them crows is smart. And they know what flesh tastes good and which don't. And your flesh, boy, is gonna taste good to them crows.
All right.
Okay, this is why I unironically believe we could do better as like right-wing commentators than the current right-wing commentators. Like, not a single one of them has like the same pizzazz or interest in like doing some kind of quick theater.
Steven Crowder.
No, all he does is just like dress up as a woman because that's his own personal hobby that he wants to.
Oh, speaking of which, I wanted to show this to you.